So you recently left Hollyoaks and then you've been on a bit of journey of like self-discovery.
So I started in 1996 and I was 18.
Wow.
So it was a good 16-year stint that I did, but the character was like 28. Once I left Hollyoaks, I didn't know where my next income was going to come from because...
Stephanie Waring, actress turned author of Breaking the Script, renowned for her decades-long role on Hollyoaks, a multi-time nominee in the Inside Soap and British Soap Awards. She now shares her story with courage, inspiring others to write their own chapters of resilience and renewal.
So you got anorexia. I can't even imagine what that would actually look like.
Anorexia will stick with me forever. You know, as soon as the mental health aspect sort of it took over, it was hard to get out of that.
Wouldn't we all love to be filmed like the Kardashians because everyone looks like they've got a Vaseline filter on them?
If you look a certain way on the outside, you will be loved, you'll have attention, you'll be adored,
you'll be successful,
you'll be popular.
Most women in CEO positions, you'll never see a woman in a powerful position being overweight. It's women that tear women apart.
There are so many women at the minute advocating to just be who we are, whatever size, narrative of, you know, we have to be thin. But I do still think there's that part of us that will always strive for it.
Joining me today, the lovely, gorgeous Steph Waring. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I know. So I was just saying out there, can I just say thank you so much? Because when I started this brand in my little broom cupboard, when I didn't even have a desk and I just had a website and a product, you were one of the first people to give me like a little post and a little shout out.
I actually remember getting your product and thinking, oh, this is different. It was very streamlined and I don't know, it just spoke to...
In gold.
In gold. Yeah. Like it was something different. But then I've been watching from the sidelines ever since. I've been dying to get on your pod because I've just seen how well that you've blown up. And yeah, I need to get back on. Yeah. I need to get back on it.
Yeah. Well, we've got 3 SKUs now. I say SKUs like I'm like some industry expert, but 3 products. And they're all brilliant. But yeah, so I never forget that. And I always like to return, you know, that kind of favour. Do you know what I mean? So anything I can do for you ever.
Oh, thank you so much.
You only need to ask. But that's why I wanted to get you on the pod.
Keep me in good supply. Like my body needs it right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
no problem.
When I didn't know what perimenopause was then. I'd never even heard of it because I wasn't going through it. I just remember it being like a hormone supplement. And I remember even not knowing a lot about hormones then. I mean, you think you'd get taught in school, you know, you get taught about your periods and having babies and that's about it. But no one talks about midlife and what happens. You just think your periods stop, you get some hot flashes and off you go. So it wasn't until I started going through peri, I know you probably asked me all of this, that then it all started to click together. So you were kind of a bit of a trailblazer, I think, in the supplement world for helping women in midlife.
Yeah, I think now it's become hormonal balance is a real trend, but back then there was nothing really. But I'd seen this firsthand when I was doing my retreats with ladies who was talking to me about all the time and constantly asking me about it, about different aspects that were perimenopause. And I was like, oh, how can we get a good all-rounder here? Because I could have made 10 different products and gone, well, this is good for this and this is good for this and this is good for this. But actually what you needed is people don't want a whole stack and other people need different things. So I just wanted to go in, do one thing really well.
Yeah, I thought it was for the libido.
Well, it is.
Libido, so I was like...
That's actually one of the main reasons people buy it. And the ingredients, I kind of built the marketing before I built the product. So that kind of led into why I picked things in the way that I did. So yeah, it was interesting and people do use it, a lot of libido, but there's so many, with adaptogens, there's so many benefits to them. They don't just fix one thing. Whereas medication just kind of goes down one pathway and will fix one thing, but it can create loads of side effects. With adaptogens, they don't just fix one thing, they can have loads of benefits. So that's why I love herbal adaptogens and I think they're wonderful things and actually more of the world should know about them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so anyway, enough about me. Okay. So you recently left Hollyoaks. How long ago was that?
So it's been over a year now.
Yeah.
About 18 months.
And
it's gone so fast.
I was going to say, does it feel like it's gone fast?
Yeah, really fast. But I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm missing something. It's weird. You know, it's kind of like one chapter closes and another one opens and you carry on with your life, you know. You
were in Hollyoaks in its absolute pomp. Heyday though, like you saw the best years of it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And that's what I do miss, you know, being a part of something, you know, that amazing. But, you know, things come to an end.
Of course.
And, you know.
But how long were you on the show? When did you begin?
So I started in 1996 and I was 18. Wow. And I left, I think I was 22. Yeah, I was 22 when I left the first time. So that was 2000. Then I went back in 2004, 2008. And then from 2008, I stayed until last year.
Wow.
So it was a good 16-year stint that I did. But the character was like 28 year.
Yeah.
Say for the character, not necessarily. No, it's not necessarily for the actress, but yeah.
So back in those 1996 days, you're 18 years old. Did you always have it in your head that you wanted to be an actress?
Yeah, I'd wanted to be an actress since I was, I'd say, I don't know, before I was 10 even. And I went to Oldham Theatre Workshop, where most northern homegrown actors are from. You know, most of them have been on Coronation Street who've come from Oldham Theatre Workshop. And I was there from about 12 to 14. But that was before I got ill with anorexia. So that's when I kind of like had to sort of put a pin in it for now. But yeah, definitely since I was a kid.
And then so you got anorexia. I was just reading at the back of your book then, which we'll talk about later on, Breaking the Script. So I was just reading then how shocking it was. At 15, you were 4 stone.
Yeah, just under, 4 stone.
Jesus, I can't even imagine what that would actually look like.
Shocking.
Yeah.
You know,
when at such a young age. Now, in this day and age, we can say it's social media, it's influence, it's this, it's that. What was kind of driving you at that time?
It's kind of the same thing, but it's just packaged differently. You know, we see it everywhere now because it's social media. But for me back then, you know, you still have people that are deemed beautiful because of what they look like on the outside. And, you know, that's what love is. If you look a certain way on the outside, you will be loved, you'll have attention, you'll be adored,
you'll be successful,
you'll be popular, all of these things. And, you know, in the 90s, it was the heroine chic, wasn't it? You know, the Kate Moss and, you know, that's how they
like
looked.
Rachel Zoe and like Misha Barton and Nicole.
Well, there was a lot. I think I was older than that.
Right.
I'm talking like early 90s. So for me, it was, you know, you see the magazines and, you know, the woman on the front cover of like Woman's Own with the tape measure around her waist, you know, the Special K diet and all of that. And I was just a chubbier kid in school and I didn't really have a lot of friends. And I felt like that I felt like it's because of my appearance. I wasn't like hugely overweight or anything. So, you know, one day I just went on a diet and it never stopped. And I think when you get those reassurances from other people, like, not reassurances, what the words that I'm looking for, the compliments start coming in. Oh my gosh, you've lost weight, you look great. And all of a sudden you're a bit more popular. The boys start looking at you. So then how do you stop it? You know, at the age of 11, 12, how do you stop that, the train of being on that diet? You don't know how to stop because you think, well, if I eat that Mars bar, then I'm going to put the weight back on. It's such a scary time. And, you know, as soon as the mental health aspect sort of took over, it was hard to get out of that. And I think anorexia will stick with me forever. Not in a way that it's active. It just will play a role sometimes in my mind where it'll creep in and I'll get these voices and I have to really fight against them. I know a lot of people who have like eating disorders say it's kind of like it happens or the triggers happen when their world is kind of like chaotic. And actually that's the only thing they can control is kind of what they're putting in their mouth or whatever. So that's the way they're trying to keep control. It's true. And it's the same in all aspects. I find in my life, when I wrote the book, I realised that it was all about control. Everything was, because if I think about when I was younger, when something bad happened within the family, I don't know, I'm just using this for instance, say my parents divorced or there was a big argument or something like that, the feeling of wanting to keep the status quo or that, you know, anxiety or making everything okay, the only thing that's out of my control. So it's like when, I don't know, things go wrong suddenly and your world spirals, doesn't it? So it is about trying to control everything. I've figured that out, that I do that a lot, especially in like relationships and friendships and even like work life and stuff. If things are sort of out of my control, I will tend to look at different areas of my life and go, right, what can I focus on? And a lot of it is to do with, you know, the outside stuff, you know, whether it's exercise, food, you know, how you look, you know, am I pretty enough? Do I need surgery?
That I can completely relate to that. I mean, sitting here watching this podcast every week, as Calvin will tell you, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot look at myself looking like this anymore. And then I look back from a podcast from a year ago to like this year and I go, oh my God, I've aged. Do you know what I mean? I look slightly different, or like I'm getting a bit jowly here. You just pick yourself apart all the time. And
I think because now we're all on camera all the time. All the time. It used to be that celebrity was, you know, musicians, you know, actors, and presenters, whatever it was. You'd only see them on TV or in the newspapers. And now everyone has access to a phone and it gets uploaded to social media, and you feel that you have to post every day. Therefore, there's a camera there in your face every day. And it's hard because you don't want to let that post go out if you're not looking what you deemed acceptable. Are you going to get abuse for this post? Are you looking older? Your skin awful, or someone points out that you're aging, and God forbid. And it's hard because we're all doing it.
I know. I absolutely hate HD TVs.
Oh, that bane of my life when that came out, being on TV.
Honest to God, right? I remember my dad being like one of the first people I knew to get like this unbelievable HD 4K TV, right? And it was really big, like 60-inch thing. So I remember going around and I was watching Coronation Street, and I couldn't believe the difference in like just skin and how much texture there was, and then like how much like movement people had in their forehead. And I think, because I live in a world where everyone has Botox around me, to see like a head that's moving on camera on the TV, it was so weird in this HD. And I felt for actresses, newsreaders, because
I was there with among them. I remember it was probably before I started getting Botox as well, because I admit I do get it. It's running out at the minute. I need to get a top up.
Same.
Dawn.
Yeah.
But you can see every pore, every line. And where your makeup's sitting as well, it's that clear. And I would then watch something that I'd filmed on the show and not even looking at the performance or the story. I'd be looking at my face and then going, oh, I can't believe people are looking at, and then what will people think? No one cares. No one actually cares.
No one's definitely not looking at it like that.
No.
Like as forensically as you would ever look at your face. They're probably just watching it for the storyline, definitely. But also, I really felt for people, because wouldn't we all love to be filmed like the Kardashians? You can tell Kris Jenner has got so much control over that program, because everyone looks like they've got a Vaseline filter on them. And it's lit perfectly. When they're doing their pieces to camera, like they are absolutely flawless. Like there is no HD going on there. It's such a soft focus. And I'm always saying to Calvin, whatever the Kardashians got, can you bloody get that for the podcast, for God's sake? Because I can't watch myself anymore.
It is hard because like you can get filters and stuff for cameras now, but we don't look at ourselves every day. No. Unless we look in a mirror or we're filming. It's everyone. But no one's saying to your face, you look like shit today. No. More often than not, they're saying you look beautiful. I know my husband tells me I look beautiful without any makeup on, like all the time. I mean, look in all kinds of states. But it's only us who judge when we look in a mirror or we've got our camera open. So it's like, well, can't we just let it go? Like, it's so hard.
You're right. But if that, I know when like kind of like my world's falling apart or things aren't going right, I'm like you, kind of like nitpick at myself, because it's the one thing I can control. And the other thing is, if I've got too much free time, then that definitely leads to I'm surfing around the internet looking at, blepharoplasties and, temple brow lifts and this, that and the other all night.
Yeah, mine's this here, the gels. Like that's, for me, that's one thing I can see going. And I'm 50 in 2 years.
I mean, my God, look at you, 50. My God, you could pass for 30.
I'm 47, but I'm 48 in February. So I look at that as
you look amazing.
2 years. So I might treat myself to just the lower bit, because they do just the lower, don't they?
Yeah.
But I don't care. You know what it is? It's whatever makes you feel good, and I don't really give a shit what other people say.
Yeah.
I put an Instagram post up yesterday of. Not an Instagram, it was a story, and it was just me in my top saying 4-week post-op. And then I got some comments from men, don't go too far, or you didn't need anything doing. I'm like, well, I didn't say what I'd had removed, but it's when people come on and say you don't need it, it's like they're telling you what to do with your body, and it's like, it blows my mind.
I know.
I really don't get it.
No, I know. So we should pick up on that actually. So you're 4 weeks post-op, and we should say you've had an explant, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Oh, that was a nice segue.
Yeah.
I love it. I have.
Yeah. So what was the motivation for that?
Well, a friend of mine, Debbie Mack, she's actually a radio presenter. She slipped into my DMs. I've known her a few years, but last November? Because I was having a few issues hormonally. Obviously, I've been through early menopause, so I'm completely through it. I'm in menopause, not just peri. And some of the symptoms that I having, even though I'm on HRT, she messaged me and said, could it be your implants? And me being me was just like, it's got nothing to do with my implants, you know, because I loved them, and it didn't even click in my head that anything could be to do with my implants. And she was saying, well, I'm just flagging it because there are a lot of women are now coming forward saying implants are sort of causing, you know, symptoms that mimic menopause symptoms, and others as well, like autoimmune diseases, etc. So I left it, and then after a while I kept thinking, but what if it is? Because these have been in like nearly 10 years. These are my third set. It's a long story. And I thought, actually, some of the symptoms that I'd be getting I started around the time that I had got implants in my body, and they're a foreign object. So how could I dismiss it? So I did a bit of research and ticking so many boxes of this, and this. And one of them was being like itchy skin, which I'd had, which I thought was menopausal, which probably is. But I just didn't want to sit with something that had been in 10 years. I thought, just get rid of them. So I got in touch with Debbie. I said, I think I'm going to get them removed. And she was so happy. And yeah, I just had a consultation and went with Pall Mall, who were brilliant. I booked it, and yeah, got them whipped out 4 weeks ago, and I've never felt better.
How is your healing now?
Great.
Feel okay?
So the first week they were still quite, I'd say swollen, and they looked fantastic. I looked like I'd had like them redone.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, yeah, like they look great. Because I really did think that I was going to have like empty tea bags, because that's what the surgeon said. He said, you will probably just be left with empty tea bags, like, you know, sagging skin. So I was getting really upset before the surgery, and my husband didn't know what to do, because obviously he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Just wanted to comfort me, but like, I think even he was a little bit worried, you know.
Yeah.
So then when obviously I came around and they were still looking quite good, I was like, I got away with this. But then I'm now 4 weeks and the inflammation has calmed down, but luckily they've just gone smaller and they are still quite filled. So I'm probably around about maybe a small B now, but they do look good. I am really, really happy though. The like, you can hardly tell really where, I even like the scarring sort of, you know, clearing up quite quick. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Pleased you did it.
Oh God, yeah, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Okay.
I feel so much better. Like I'm sleeping better. Some of the symptoms that I was experienced have calmed down. Like I said, I'm on HRT, so they should be clearing up any, you know, menopausal symptoms. So I don't know. I think it's for the individual person to weigh up though, you know, if you've got implants, whether something's
right for them,
or not.
I think about it a lot. I've got implants in.
Have you?
Yeah, but I'm ready. I don't know. I'm definitely ready for a change. I reckon it's probably like 8 years.
Right.
8 to 9 years maybe.
The way I looked at it, I thought if they looked awful, like if I did have empty tea bags, I'd consider having some new ones put in, but only for a short amount of time, you know, a few years. But it's very expensive to do that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like the reasons why I had them done in the first place, I'm not the same person. And I don't feel like I need that, I don't know, breasts, so to speak, to walk through the door before me.
Absolutely. And let's, like, how old were you when you got them done?
Well, it was after I had Lexi, so I was 32. And after breastfeeding, she took everything I had, and it just felt like something that I needed to have done. I was at an age where I think I was just coming into a sexual awakening. I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing, like, I had Gemma and Myrna on the pod, I think it was last year, and obviously we were talking about like those Hollyoaks heydays where you would be doing like the calendar shoots, and it was very much that kind of lads mag style of marketing for that show. I mean, everyone on that show was absolutely gorgeous. In its real heyday when you were in it, everyone was picked because they look great. And it would always be about the calendar shoots and the Lads magazine. So I would imagine it was all part and parcel of...
Yeah, kind of. It's funny because you don't know any different. And, you know, we just talked about the Lads mag stuff then. And I wrote a bit about this in my book. I absolutely loved that back then. Like Lads mags made careers and we all wanted to be in them. And I know now that we all look back and we go, oh, we exploited and blah, 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 and for our bodies and what we look like. I've still got my front cover of the Loaded magazine and I have it in a frame.
Yeah.
It's not put up anywhere, but I absolutely love the fact that I am on the front cover of Loaded magazine in my own right, because there is a part in my book where I write about not being in Hollyoaks and not being the typical Hollyoaks girl back then. And I was never asked to do any of the shoots because I was overweight because I had bulimia and I wasn't picked to do certain things. And then
I've never thought of you in my life. When you said that before as a chubby child, I was thinking, I can't ever imagine you. Like literally, I remember the first time I ever met you in the gym and David Lloyd thinking,
I was tiny.
You were, honestly, I thought, my God, she's so small, so much smaller than I've ever seen on TV. And also I couldn't believe how like young you looked as well. And I remember you saying you were 40 something at the time. And I was like, I remember saying to Anthony at the time, I can't believe how like amazing she looked. Like it was actually genuinely intimidating.
Oh,
I was like,
sure.
Swear, I thought, oh my God,
you know what?
She's got the most amazing figure.
Thank you.
Seriously.
I'm telling you, I have so many insecurities and hang-ups, and I think the one thing that I will struggle with is getting older is because since I was younger, I've always looked really young for my age. It's not about doing stuff to my face. It's because of my genes. Like my mum and dad look so young, and when I was 18, I looked about 14. And when I was in my 20s, I couldn't get a role for my age. I was still playing schoolgirls. So getting older, and like I said, I'm 50 in a couple of years, it's only going to be a matter of time before I look, and because I've had that ingrained in me for so long, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for me to accept it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will be looking for everything to pull everything back into its place. But yeah, no, anyway, I forgot about what I was bloody talking
Sorry,
about.
we're talking about, I've interjected.
No, it was the last magazine.
We're talking about Loaded, so you felt like you did it in your own right.
So when I finally did it, it was like in my own right. It's a long story as how even that all came about. But the only thing that I don't agree with is that we didn't get paid. It was all in Hollyoaks, it was all part of the contracts in Hollyoaks. Any publicity that you did, it fell under the contract, so you didn't get paid. But even when I did stuff outside of the show, after I'd left, I didn't get paid either. So other people were getting paid for you basically getting your kit off in these magazines. It was a case of, but we're going to make your career.
Yeah.
That's what you'll get out of it. So
getting, there's more publicity for you for the show.
At the same time, I do understand, I think probably where Gemma would have been coming from is the pressure on us to look a certain way as well. That sexiness, I think it did a lot. I think it, in a way of eating disorders, the way that how we would eat or train or see ourselves. I really wish I could have been a woman who saw me for who I was and embraced it and loved it and not scrutinised. And like I do still to this day, scrutinise. It's horrible. And I don't think there's probably any women out there who actually feel that way.
I think it's ingrained in us.
It's hard. There are so many women at the minute out there advocating for us all to just be who we are, whatever size, stop pushing this narrative of, we have to be thin to be and all of that. But I do still think there's that part of us that will always strive for it.
You say that, right? And you're absolutely right. There is a lot of people banging that drum, and I think don't bother, because I've read The Economist wrote a piece saying that the thinner you are, the higher up you will get. So most women in CEO positions, you'll never see a woman in a powerful position being overweight. It's literally,
or just even normal, or just even like
honestly, there's an article in The Economist, and I'll share it when I share this pod. I'll share the link to that. Also, if you look more polished, so your hair's done, makeup done, you look polished, you're going to earn 30% more money. I always use this argument when I'm like putting obviously my makeup through, and the accountant's like, why have you had so many blow dries? Like, it's a direct result into me making money for the HMRC.
Thank you for the tip.
Yeah. So genuinely, there's been loads of studies on that as well. It is not socially...
That's fascinating. I had no idea.
It's not socially acceptable for us to look like, just embrace yourself. Sorry, no. Like, all right, one way. If that's your thing and people love you for that, and you want to like go out there and show everything and whatever, and you're on a bit of a journey, but actually the top jobs are taken by women who are polished up, looking well. They've got their self in control.
It's advertisement, isn't it?
Of course it is.
It's about...
And I'm not making the rules here. I'm just saying that is the reality. You wouldn't get people to promote your product if they look, I don't know, not put together a bit. Yeah.
Well, I put my makeup on to come here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't put makeup on every day, but I knew I was going to be filmed for a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
does my head in when I can't get a makeup appointment or a hair appointment for this podcast, honestly, because I'm just like, But what I should be more focusing on is maybe prepping for the podcast. But actually, women watch this podcast, and it's women that tear women apart. I've never known a man in my life sit there and rip a woman apart like I've heard women do it. So when people go, oh, women support each other and like it's the patriarchy, I think you're talking shit, because the evidence that I have seen, the overwhelming evidence is I've got loads of guy friends and they'll go, yeah, she looks all right. And they just look at the woman as a whole. Yeah, she looks all right. A woman will go in, oh, yeah, but the eyebrow's not right, is it? Look at that eyebrow. And that, yeah, she's a bit jowly there. And yeah, I know what you mean.
But that's only a reflection on the insecurities that they have in themselves.
Exactly. But women will be vicious and go, look at Tattle Life. That's not run by a load of men, is it? Tattle Life.
Oh gosh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So Tattle Life is literally a bunch of women ripping other women apart. And it's one of the worst platforms I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's absolutely horrible. And that's the world we live in. But it's women picking women apart. And honestly, every bit of evidence I see is like, you can't let yourself go. As much as I would love to embrace the real me and turn up to this podcast with no makeup on, not my hair done, not dressed nice, and not really give a fuck, and actually more care about what's coming out of my mouth and prepping for the podcast, I'm telling you now, it would not fly. Those clips, I'd love to do an A/B testing of a clip where I'm like polished up, looking okay, and one where I'm in gym kit with no makeup.
I think you probably look more beautiful with the no makeup in the gym kit.
I definitely would.
No, honestly, I like my daughter, for instance, I've got a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old. And my youngest daughter, Lexi, is so naturally beautiful. But she cakes her face in makeup and she has these eyelashes on that come through the door before she does. And they're really black and dead heavy. And she's like this. they're all carbon copies. You see them all walking to school with all the same eyelashes on. But every time she takes the makeup off, me and my husband just go, you're so beautiful without makeup. So there is not one man who's going, oh, them eyelashes really turn me on. They're not. Like, they just...
Or absolutely hyperinflated lip filler. There's nobody who's saying that. But I think that comes with maturity.
Yeah.
I think, less is more. My dad always used to say that to me about makeup. He's like, there's no guy who likes that kind of makeup. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm playing with it. And, do you know what I mean? Trialing it on. But that comes with maturity, I think. She'll grow out with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I hope so.
What's it like? Have you got two girls?
I have two girls, yeah.
And what's it like? Like, everyone tells me it's harder having girls.
Yes and no. I mean, I think it just depends on the family and who they are as people, because everyone has their own little personalities. And I've just been really lucky to just have two well-adjusted girls. Like, they're completely different. Mia, my eldest, she's a really hard worker. She's got two jobs at the minute and she's out, and, she burns the candle at both ends because she works in a nightclub in Manchester, Continental. She's a bottle girl there. So she's rolling in at God knows what time in the morning, and then she's getting up to do a day job the next day. And I just really admire her work ethic, and she's so beautiful. Whereas Lexi, my youngest, she's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, she's just funny and not, but they're both lazy, but they're both girls. Like, so I kind of just let them be and just let them figure it out for themselves. And I'll only pull them up if I just think, you're going off a little bit. Let me just pull you back slightly. I don't like to really argue with them or, say that my way is the right way, because it might know. Like, I feel like that when we become parents, we're a carbon copy of our parents, because we get told what's right and wrong, but we still did the shit anyway. And I still feel like I'm figuring it out. I'm 47 and I'm still trying to figure it out. I still feel like that young girl who's just wanting to be liked, seeking validation and just trying to figure it out and just wanting love and happiness and security and just to have a nice life. But I think we put our own roadblocks in the way a lot of the time. I think that's what we do. And I think we overthink too much. I don't think anyone else is thinking about my life the way that I think about my
absolutely.
life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously you left Hollyoaks 18 months ago, and then you've been on a bit of journey of like self-discovery,
Yes.
if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So you did Jay Shetty's
I did, yeah.
coaching course.
I did, yeah.
What did you learn about yourself doing that?
That's a really difficult one to answer, I think, because it's very layered. The reason why I did the course is because I knew that once I left Hollyoaks, I didn't know where my next income was going to come from because, let's face it, acting jobs had not just fallen out of the sky. You know, the industry is completely changed from when I was like last out in the wilderness, and I was under no illusions that I was going to be falling into, you know, another role. So I knew I had to do something else, not quit. Everyone's like, oh, she's quit acting. I'm not. I still want to do it. But I did have to do something else. So for me, because I started writing the book, I started figuring out where it all went wrong, or why the anorexia started, why the bulimia started. You know, had an anxiety disorder. All these things are happening. And I figured out why when I was writing it. But then because I was doing the course at the same time, I really had to go in me. You know, I was like my first client. So it was kind of like a light bulb moment to go, oh shit, like I've been sitting on this for how many years, and I never really knew why. I've just kind of been putting it all in a little box and just moving on to the next. I look at it like a monster that moves in different clothing. It's like anorexia then turned to bulimia, then bulimia turned into, I don't know, over-exercising, or, you know, control in another field. It just puts a different jacket on. So I learned a lot about that. But then when I became a coach, I found it difficult in the respect that a lot of the clients just wanted to have a chat with Cindy from Hollyoaks and weren't really there for
doing the work.
And it takes a lot of your time up as well. So I decided to write some, like a course, and, you know, a few like digital, you know, products of self-help with food freedom and stuff like that. But then the ultimate realization is that it's not my purpose. Like just this last few months, I've gone, yeah, I've done that, but it's not my purpose. It's not what I'm meant to do. I'm an actress. I'm a creative. I love writing, and potentially be producing a show soon. And I've just got a role in a film. So I've had to sort of put that, from what I've learned, I think I did it because I needed to understand the shit that I'd gone through and figure it out. And I think that's why I did that.
Did you find the book a very cathartic experience?
Yeah, 100%. It was like exercising so many demons. Like the book's not about, if you think about a memoir, who wants to read about Cindy from Hollyoaks' life? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it wasn't that self-indulgent. It was about, I knew I had a story to tell. I knew that I'd been through a lot of shit and I'd come out the other side, but I'd also, it wasn't linear, and it was messy, and it wasn't understood. And it was about, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I'm thin. So I got thin and I'm still not happy, you know. So you get the goalpost move. I'll be happy when I'm famous. So I'm an actress, you know, and then I'm famous, and I'm like, but I'm not happy. What is it? You know, I'll be happy when I find love, which was the holy grail of everything. And then you get your heart broken. And it just, this thing, it just keeps on going and going and going. So I wrote it in 6 parts because it was all about those individual things that you seek in life. And when you have trauma, it's getting through the other end and then rewriting your script of the life that you'd already wrote, you know, so you don't repeat the pattern again. You know, because we forever do that, don't we? We live our life and we repeat the same pattern, hoping for a different outcome. So it was about recognising it, breaking it, and then writing, you know, something new and making different decisions. And I still make the shit decisions. I still go back to default mode. I'm not perfect.
It's there, messy. Isn't it? In your subconscious, like, you know, yeah, your default mode, or like, especially in times of stress, you just revert back. It's very difficult, I would imagine. It's like trying,
100%.
I say it's like taming the beast. Sometimes in my own head sometimes.
It's the monster. I call mine, I just call it the monster that sort of is a passenger on my shoulder. And sometimes I can like, get on the back seat.
Yeah.
You know, I'm driving the car today. And then sometimes it goes, fuck you, and like gets in the driver's seat. And I'm like the monkey brain, you know, you think about the monkey brain that, you know, is driving you. And sometimes it takes over and then I get lost, and it's like being on a soundproof, no one, you're screaming and the monster can't hear you. And then when it goes and it's you, you go, oh shit, what did I do? What destruction did I just cause? What have I just done to my life? You know? And then you've got to pick up the pieces again and like get outside and go for that walk and get back on and do life. And it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I think we all have our own version of that.
Yeah, it is. And completely. And like the devil makes work for idle hands. If you're not busy, kind of like living your purpose or fulfilling your purpose, I can imagine like things take over. I know it would for me. I'm thinking of a friend right now who has got so much free time at the moment, and all she does is nitpick herself, and she's just like addicted to surgeries constantly. Right, okay. So she's always looking at ways she can have more surgery, and I'm just like, fucking stop.
Do you think that, because I've been thinking about it, I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but the phone thing, okay? So we're all like this constantly. It's like a dopamine hit, reset. And before the phones, it was things, I mean, if I look at something like bulimia that I had for 25 years, I was unable to stop it because it was that dopamine hit, because I was starving myself before then. So then for your body fights for something to survive. Then you binge, the dopamine hit, purge, guilt cycle. It's that something that you fall into. So with the phones, we are constantly like this. And when you leave it, do you ever get a bit like...
Yeah.
If you've not got the telly to watch or someone to talk to, if you're in the gym and you're working out, you go to your phone to just scroll.
It's even if it's just there, it's too tempting to touch it.
So, you know, when you just said about your friend, she's not got a lot to do and she's nitpicking the surgeries, it's the same kind of thing. If you've not got something that's just making the hours fly by, that you're in the zone with, and it hasn't got anything to do with this, you know, it's kind of like, it's the relief almost, isn't it? Do you see what I mean? When you get it, you go, oh, I feel better now.
Completely.
And then you put it down.
Completely. And like, I wake up every day and I'm so grateful, even though I'm under intense pressure a lot of the time and everything rides on me with the business, and it's up to me to grow it and it's up to me to have final say, and I get decision fatigue. And honestly, there's some days I just wish I could walk out and think, fuck this. Like, honestly, I have those days, but there's half of me that thinks, God.
Do you need an assistant? I'm free.
I am so grateful every day to be doing something that I love to do every day, and that actually gives me a purpose.
Do you know what?
Actually gives me structure.
Because
what the heck, I would be sitting there.
When I saw you do this, right, and there's no word of a lie, and I said, I'm an honest person. Because I remember meeting you, and I remember you sending me these pills. I don't call them pills. the liquid gold in it. It kind of reminded me a bit of my friend Nadine Marabi, because I remember when she sent me one of her first dresses and we were friends, and I wore like one to the, and I wore British Soap Wars to help her, and I wore them every year since, and then she's blown up and she's smashing it. And I mean, smashing it. And the same thing happened with you. I watched from the sidelines, like you sent me this little bottle, and then, but you did something that not a lot of people would do. Followed something through and then grew this company and believed in it and showed up. And you're the only person who could do that. And I'm not going to say it's jealousy, because I don't believe in that. I always look at things like, if you, not envious of someone, but you see, it's because you want something like that for yourself, and it's not a bad thing. And I remember thinking, I couldn't do that. But I was so like, yeah, like, fuck yeah. Like,
I think you definitely could.
Do you know what I mean? But it was a sense of like, I can't do that. How do I do that? Because I see a lot of people around me, like when I was on Hollyoaks, doing their own thing and branching out and doing, like, building businesses. And I'm like, how do you even begin?
Okay, so I was very much the same. I literally, before you walked in this room, I had this conversation, because on the last podcast I said there was one differentiator, because I did Bear Grylls The Island, and on that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and on that I had literally nothing to my name. I had a car that my ex paid for. I was living in my apartment in Liverpool. I didn't know where my money was coming from. I was like journalist, writing a few bits here and there. Didn't know what I was doing. Literally no purpose. Could go to the gym all day, every day, but nothing to do. Loads of free time. Fucking hell, I thought I was busy back then. I was running like retreats and stuff like that. And I was like...
I'm so busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one of those people, I was like, good one. But the difference was, because I knew I had something, I knew I was probably a born entrepreneur, because I'm risky and I was probably had all those traits. But the difference was, as soon as I came back from that island, I learned a lot about myself, and I got around people who were doing it. So I pretty much changed my friendship group overnight, and I got around people who had started businesses by themselves, like self-made millionaires.
Right.
And they now became my friendship group. And if you want that for yourself, my best advice is get around them.
But I don't know how to.
Friends.
Honestly, like I don't really have a strong friendship group at all. I spend most of my time.
You know me. You know Nadine. You know,
true.
Like you know people who started businesses.
Yeah.
What's your partner do?
He works in private security.
Okay. Is it his own business?
No.
Okay. So maybe not him, but he
wish.
But he would know people.
Yeah, maybe not my husband.
Maybe not him, but he would know other people who started businesses. You, with your access to your network, I'm telling you now, like everybody knows you. You used to be Cindy on Hollyoaks. You have got so much in the tank.
See, this is where my insecurities play in, because I don't feel that way. Like I honestly, like it's gonna sound really sad, but when you're in like Hollyoaks, like you see everyone every day and they're your friends and you hang out but like with any job that you leave, you know, you obviously leave those friendship groups. I'm not saying that we're not, if I saw everyone tomorrow, I'd be like, oh my God, hi. But I spent the last 18 months pretty much on my own. And I find it really difficult. I don't know whether it's something in me, but I find it really difficult to reach out and connect or say, hey, do you want to go for lunch or, a drink or, something like that. And I don't know why. I don't know where it's come from. I just, like I said, I've always felt like I'm not good enough,
That's crazy, because I look at you as somebody, like I said to you, and this is no word of a lie, when I first met you, I was like so intimidated by you. And that is the reality.
Imitated by little on me.
I know. And I thought, my God, she's just and I remember thinking, oh my God, you were so confident. You were so like, just bubbly. And I thought, oh my God, she looks amazing. Like she's super skinny. She's so good looking. She's this, she's that. Everybody in the gym knows you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone's looking at you. You've really got a presence. And even if you don't feel that now,
that's really nice, because I do feel like I've lost a bit of myself. Like this last 18 months, I think like when you get told like your services are no longer needed, you kind of question, oh, what did I do? Who am I now? And you kind of have to find your next identity, and maybe it's just you, who you actually are. It's not kind of like being, molding into something else. It's just, I think it's hard when you spend a lot of time, like you said before, that we do like on your own.
Yeah.
And just trying to make money.
Yeah.
Trying to survive. Like what is next?
Well, I would definitely say changing up, like bold moves. So changing up the people you hang around with. And
can you give me your phone number when you finish the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. And definitely.
You're like, Steph, God, what?
No, I'm here anytime. And that was a big one for me. And yeah, then when you start seeing increments of success, that then gives you confidence. Definitely. Now, you've just said you've got a film role.
Yeah, I can't say anything about it.
No,
at
of
the minute,
course not. But that will then, I can guarantee that when you are filming that and you're back on set again, you are going to start to feel amazing again. You're going to be back in the flow.
I hope so.
And when that positivity is back and you start doing what you love to do, which is acting, you're going to be in a different perspective on life. Because you're right. You're probably thinking, what do I do now? Like, what do I do now? Like, I've been there myself. I've been there, and thought, what the hell do I do now? I remember I was a journalist for ages. Then I did Desperate Housewives, and then thought, we didn't get a second season, but I didn't really want one anyway because it was absolute crap. But I thought, what the hell do I do now? I was absolutely aimless. I had nothing going on in my life. And realistically, I didn't even get my life together till the age of 34.
Really?
Yeah, 34 years old, I started actually doing something that was actually worth it. And that was this.
Wow.
And that was the difference between, and it was at that point where I got around the people that I wanted to emulate. Like, so all the people, no disrespect to them, but all the people that I had been knocking around with were like just salesmen in salary jobs, getting fucked up at the weekends, living for the weekend, and not really going anywhere. And that was
Maybe
all
I should
those
stop
people
doing that then.
And that
I'm joking.
And that was all those people. And for whatever reason, like I was just so, and I I've got to change something here.
It's mad, isn't it? Because like, just listening to you say all of that, I think it's really hard sometimes to make that bold move. I've talked a lot about getting out of your comfort zone, and when you move out your comfort zone, it was really uncomfortable, and you almost fight against it to go back to what feels comfortable. Like for me would be, I do TikTok shop videos, you know, I make quite a bit of money just from doing the affiliate side of things, and I think it's great. So I just use my TikTok for that really. So that's my comfort zone at the minute, just being at home, just doing videos and, you know, promoting my book, XYZ. But to then want to create something else, you have to really push out of that, but find the connections and the people, those that can help you. But then where do I start? So then that day becomes, tomorrow.
Yeah, so again, you don't know where you start, but, and I didn't know, by the way, this wasn't a plan. There is no business plan. I never had a business plan. It was just like a flick switched, and I was driving to Kent the day I thought, and it was the marketing side of things that came to me first, and it was this Facebook message that I've got off a lady, and I was kind of bringing it all together, and it was a 4-hour drive to Kent, and where I was driving down to go to a retreat, and there was a girl there from SAS Who Dares Wins, and she kept telling me that she wanted to start a business, and there was a difference between me and her. The difference was she kept talking about it all week. By the end of the week I was there, I'd got in touch with the supplier, I'd done the formula, and I'd already set up my first order in 7 days, and she's still messing around thinking about it. That's the difference.
Right.
Are you an action taker, or are you just chatting shit, realistically?
I'm a bit of both.
But then you need to be around. So if you know that like you're a bit of a ditherer, if you listen to my partner, he would say I'm the biggest ditherer ever. But like a lot of other people go, bloody hell, you move fast. I don't move as fast as him, but I pace things a little bit better, but I can't work to those breakneck speeds like he can. And I think it's about knowing your talents or where you could add value. You've already got a leg up on me in every way. You've got a profile. You've got so many more followers. Like you've got an audience built for you. I didn't have any of that. I had nothing, like nothing. I just had a bounce back loan, an idea for a product that I hoped was going to work and that people might have liked. And it was a huge risk. You have already got a name, a PR strategy because of who you are and what you're doing now. You know what I mean? You know, Steph Waring has now gone into XYZ is already a story for you. You've already got that audience who built in and like you. Like you've got so much more leverage than most founders would dream of having. You've got a personal brand.
I need to write this down.
Thank
you. No, thank you for saying.
But it's true. You don't understand the power that you have. That's all I'm saying.
Do you know what? This is probably the epitome of women supporting women.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And can I just
you don't see that a lot.
No, and can I just tell, well, you don't. And I've never had any criticism from any woman that's doing better than me. Can I just tell you that? The only criticism you get is from fucking bottom feeders who've got nothing going on in their lives. Don't listen to them. Never heard a woman who's like further on than me. They've been nothing but here's a hand.
Yeah.
And you need to get around those women because they are there definitely to help you.
Because once they're on their path, they're all, you know,
of course, they're just
help.
Like, yeah.
You help. Right. You give and you get back.
I do that all the time.
All the time, yeah.
I'm sharing contacts with everybody. Don't do this. I made this mistake. Don't speak to them. Here's the number. Speak to them. Tell them I sent you. Do you know what I mean? And just being sound like that. I haven't got time to sit and nitpick and bitch about people. I haven't even got time to speak to people I genuinely care about and love. You think I've got fucking time to sit there and bitch? I'm like, get real. I'd love to sit there and bitch
I've got all the time in the world.
But honestly,
just grab me a mic.
No, I think you definitely, once you start, like, you're going to do this film role.
Yeah.
If you like writing,
I do love writing.
Would you like to write your own like script?
Well, I've already. Oh gosh, I'd
be like a Faye Meller.
Yeah, no,
type.
it's a tricky one because I did write a script, which I still have. But for me, I'm very good at producing and creating, but it's the dialogue stuff that I'd get stuck on. So for me, it's more around the producing side of things that I'd love to get involved with, and the creative story direction. I'm great with those ideas and putting story together, arcs and hooks, and the payoffs and the.
Well, then this landscape is perfect for somebody like you. I've just thought of a new job role for you. So in the e-commerce industry, one of the biggest levers you can pull is like online ads, UGC creation.
Yeah.
So user-generated creations. You could have an unbelievable career even being a UGC creator yourself or writing scripts for UGC creators. One of the jobs I'm actually looking for, or that I know other businesses is looking for, is script writers to kind of write these scripts for things that we might be filming for marketing. Do you know what I mean? That's a huge job. It's one of the best paid jobs in e-commerce. If you have that skill, like...
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, it's the script writing I'm not great at. It's more the...
It's not the...
Oh, shit.
So it would be like, okay, if I gave you a task, and there's a guy from Purdy and Fig who hires script writers, and he will get the script writer in and he'll say, give me 30 different ways of selling this brick. And he's got...
Do you not think that ChatGPT though is kind of like taking over that market?
It can help, but he's looking for is somebody...
You know that it's that though. You know when people have used that, yeah.
Exactly. But
you want it more authentic.
What he said, and I thought this was really interesting, is he would like, let's say 10 people are getting hired for this script writing job and he's looking for the most creatives. So you have a brick in front and saying, you've got 60 seconds, give me the amount of ways you can sell that to me. And he said that he would plot on a table which answers came up the most, like, oh, well, this is, it's got a perfect weight to it, or it's got this, it's got that, the other, it's beautiful red, or whatever. How many times that came up? And then he said you would get some off-the-wall answers that you would plot on a different side. How many times did that come up? And actually the job you want to give it to is the one that came up with like the more off-the-wall ideas.
Yeah.
And that's an intensive hiring process for somebody, but that shows who's creative and who isn't. Now, then they go away and he will say to them, right, I just want you to write me a script on 30 different ways that you can sell this product, cleaning product. And you just dial down on that. Now, I'm telling you, these are such high paid jobs. And all they've got to do is think of these things every day.
That actually really scares the hell out of me.
Really? It's not about dialogue though. It's just about like thinking. So they have a cleaning product.
I do it with it. Like I said, I'm doing the TikTok shop affiliate stuff at the minute. Is this still going out on that?
Yeah. You're still talking, yeah.
No, I know. I'm doing that. So I do come up with different ways of
angles.
Different
so
angles.
You're already doing it. You're just doing it live.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you,
I think
do you have that talent? That's big money.
Well, I'll think about it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because you're already doing it and you're also a presenter. And again, everyone's going into live shopping. So that's another string to your bow.
It's true.
Well, that's a big paid job as well. We're looking for a presenter, especially your demographic. You're 47 now, you're going to be 48 and you look good. So if anybody is in those female wellness, health, imagine like a yoga brand. Imagine.
Yeah. No, I'd love to do that. If someone gave me a script, presenting,
or just gave you the top like aspects of like QVC style.
Yeah.
Because I know a few ladies who do it. There's a UGC creator we know called Pippa, and she goes on QVC talking about products all the time. She's really good at it. Oh. But yeah, honestly,
I never thought of doing anything like that.
UGC is good and it's big money. Good.
Okay.
You should look into that. That's another string to your bow. Anyway, we've got off on a tangent.
I know. Wow. I was like, I shouldn't believe the cameras are rolling.
Well, hopefully, listen, I think this will resonate with the audience because there'll be a lot of ladies who are also feeling underconfident, like they've lost some kind of purpose. They don't know what they're doing with themselves. And actually to know that you're feeling like that too, somebody that they'll probably look at thinks she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. She's got 2 gorgeous kids. She's had an amazing career. Everyone knows her. You've got a real presence. You've got all these things. And if you're feeling like that too, maybe it's okay for me to feel like this too.
That's why I'm very honest about stuff. I didn't want to like come on and just be like, yeah, I've got my shit together. It's great. And it's just kind of surface shit. I know when I've got myself together and I'm great and I'm smashing life. But there are those days where I go, what the hell am I doing? And it's upsetting because sometimes I don't feel like I'm on the right path and sometimes I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And I think I think the best thing you can do is if there is opportunity or if there's something there, you've got to open the door and you've got to walk through it. It's about taking the action rather than just sitting back and just going, I can't, or I can't be bothered or not today. And that's what I've been doing lately. A lot of, I can't say too much about this, but I'm doing a couple of documentaries next year, one in February. And I can't actually even say what it is.
It's all right.
It's really exciting though. Really
when
exciting.
You've done it,
you can come. Terrifying.
God,
I know. I want to say I can. No, I can't. I'm not allowed to say anything yet. But this is an avenue I never thought that I was going to go down. But it was just by connecting with people, like you said, and this thing came up, and I just went yes, and I went shit. After I've done it, after I said yes, I'll tell you after we've done this. But that's really exciting. But at the same time, like you said, I don't feel like I've got it together all the time, and that's okay because something will come up and everything has got to work itself out.
Yeah. What about reality TV?
It's not really, since I've left, it's not really come up on my radar. I don't know.
Depends what it was.
It depends what it is. And I just don't want to just do something for the hell of it or for the money or because I just, want to be relevant in any kind of way. I really want to get into theatre and like obviously I'm doing a film and I kind of want to go down a little bit of a different path rather than being, I don't know, a celeb or a reality star or something like that. I just want to see how I can change things for the better for me because sometimes I do feel a lot of anxiety around being, I don't know, looked at as someone who's, life is up for, I don't know, scrutiny or debate. And I know because I share a lot, but that's because why not? Like if you've been through something, it can help someone else. Why not? Because I think a lot of people just think that you're one thing. If like someone was to meet me, so like today you could like, they'll leave and go, fucking hell, she's a bit full on her, isn't she? Or like, but that's just one side of me. I don't know, I might not have had any sleep last night. I might have a raging cold coming on, or I might not feel my best and you might not be getting a good, like that version of me. But then you could say to someone, fucking hell, Steph Waring, she's such a knob. Honestly,
I don't think anyone would ever say that.
No, but you know what I mean? I'm just
you wouldn't, I know if someone's a knob or not because you wouldn't be in the industry as long as you have been if you were.
I mean, it's like an example of, she's not very nice, Do you know what I mean? You've got that example, but whereas, the next day I could be like, oh my God, full of beans, not cracking a joke or whatever it is. And so I go, oh my God, are you kidding me? She's great. Like, what is it? It's always perception. And you can be to anyone's perception at different times of who you are. And I think it's really hard to change people's minds as well if they've got a certain perception of you. I don't know what I just said. I just said something profound.
No, it is good that you share a lot online. I think it's, that is again another avenue. And I think you are relatable and authentic. I know it's an overused word, but you are quite upfront. It was music to my ears when you said, oh, I'm not media trained. I was like, thank God for that.
They tried to media train me once.
Stand it.
I had to when I was in Hollyoaks, like in the early days. I'm sure I sold my own sex story to the paper. like the Hollyoaks producers, sit down, shut up, don't say a word. Yeah. Because it's when. For me, it was when someone was asking me a question, I'd just be honest. Yeah. I didn't know how to say something different or, so I'd just like a rabbit caught in headlights going, oh yeah, well, and oh gosh.
Especially
honestly.
If it was like an impressive notch on the bedpost and you were like, yeah, I
bagged him. That wasn't true, by the way. I was just using that as a reference to not be media trained.
Yeah. Okay, so what's next for you?
So what's next for me? I've got my book signing this weekend down in Norfolk. So we're going to see how that goes because that's just a taster. Because at the minute, my book's only available on Amazon. So hopefully we'll be getting in bookstores soon. I've got the audiobook coming out as well. It's taken me forever to do. But that will be coming out soon, hopefully for Christmas. So once that's all done, I'm doing a documentary at the end of January, which is based down in Norfolk, hence why I'm going down for the book signing. That's going to be based on like a ghost hunt thing, right? Which is really quite exciting. And then I've got another one in February, which will be in Norway. So that's all I can say about that one. That's another documentary. Then in March, I'm shooting a film. So there's so many exciting things coming up. I can't wait for next year. I think it's going to really I think my life's going to change once again. So I feel like I'm closing the door on a lot of things, but I'm opening the doors for other things that I just want to, like I said, walk through and embrace.
And if you could do any like acting job, what's the one you think, oh, I would love to bag that? Manifest one job right here.
I'd love to do like a Taylor Sheridan series, you know, who created Yellowstone and Landman. I think I love Beth Dutton from Yellowstone.
I actually haven't watched it yet.
Kelly Riley. Oh, it's amazing. She's
I might start over Christmas.
That role I'd love to do something like that. I get asked that quite a lot, actually, that question. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, don't like watch loads of TV at the minute.
Yeah. I can see it. I couldn't see you in another soap again.
I don't think I'd want to do another soap. As it stands at the minute, never say never, because obviously, you know, the pennies and all that.
Yeah. I could see you doing like a Netflix, you know, series. You know, those like Harlan Coben.
Oh, the Harlan Coben things. Yeah, I do like those. I've watched those. I just think they're good binge watching ones.
Yeah, I could definitely see you doing one of them.
I know Key Street Productions do them. So, yeah. If you're watching, I'm available.
We'll just get in Keith.
Manifest.
Just find everyone who works at Keith Street Productions on LinkedIn and just bump into them constantly. Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
That laptop in it, what is it? Where is it? Media City Cafe, like that laptop.
Exactly. You just
reading a book.
You've got to manifest, but you've got to take action towards what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm reading a book at the moment called Obvious Adams.
All right. Who's that by?
It's like written, actually, Calvin, before I speak out of turn, can you just look up Obvious Adams and what year it was written? Because this will blow your mind.
1916.
There you go.
1916.
1916.
Right. Who wrote it, like Shakespeare or something?
No, he's called Oliver Adams. And everyone called him Obvious Adams because he was an advertising executive. But his ideas were so obvious. It's like, why has no one else thought of this? And the book is like, you're like, what the fuck am I reading here? Right? But it's only about 60 pages long. It's like this small. And it's like, well, he wanted to go and get a job with this advertising executive, and he just walked into his office one day and was like, hi, can I have an appointment with such a body? She was like, no. Like, who are you? And he was like, well, I'd just love to talk to him, please, if you can get me an appointment. I've got an hour and 20 minutes. And she was like, right. She was a bit taken aback by him, like being so quite forthright. And he was only a young kid, about 17 at the time. Anyway, he said, yeah, go on. He got a meeting. And he just said to this guy, he said, I think I'd be brilliant working. I want to get into advertising. I thought, I really want to work for you. And he's like, just the obvious thing to do is just go and ask.
Go and ask, yeah.
Go and ask the people. You want to work for them, just go and tell them then and go and ask them. The book's all about these obvious things. It's very good.
Oh, I might get that then. I love shit like that.
Yeah, it's just blindingly obvious ideas. So
the obvious thing to do is get the book, read it, and then take action.
Exactly.
On all your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you like somebody, I always like, if I like someone's like LinkedIn profile or they're quite sassy, or like there was a lady, I looked at her profile the other day and I don't know how the hell I came across it, but she used to work for Brewdog for like 12 years, and that's a great disruptive business, very much like myself. And I thought, I was just reading a LinkedIn post and it just, some of it made me laugh because she was so straight up. She was like, well, this is complete dog shit, isn't it? And I was just like, she is so funny. Reached out to her straight away. I said, I've looked at your LinkedIn. I think we should be friends, blah, blah, blah. Now we're working together.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And that's like,
oh, what are you working on?
She's helping me with some consultation work. So she's
amazing.
helping me try and unlock a new level of growth, basically. But I know she will think about things in a different way to me.
Yeah.
But also she's got a bit of sass and spunk about her, which I could tell from her LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to, and I just feel like, be bold, reach out to the people that you like.
Oh, I love that.
So again, if there's something you want to do,
just do it.
Go and reach out to them.
I'd always do this though, when I do something like that bold, I always go,
oh, what's the worst that's going to happen?
I know. And then I throw my phone
Steph Waring asked me for a job. So what?
You throw your phone on the other side of the room and just wish it never happened.
I've got no shame.
Yeah. No, I love that though. Yeah, I think being bold is what we should do a lot more of. And I'm definitely going to take that advice from you today. I think it's opened my eyes a lot. I know it's just been it's a chat, but it's kind of made me just go, fuck, have you forgot who you are?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I've literally sat here going, fuck, like, have you forgotten who you are? Like, look what you did.
Exactly.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were just this young girl who just nearly died. And
That's what I mean. You've overcome trauma. God knows what you had to do to pull yourself around out of that. At such a young age, you've overcome worse things than this. You've got evidence in your life that you have gone through the worst times and you've come out of it. And not only have you gone through those worst times, but it didn't go down. It went like that. You've got that evidence of that's who you are. Don't forget that.
Wow.
It's turned into a bit of a sermon today.
I know, Jesus Christ.
But no, honestly.
How many times I've had to hold back the tears?
Oh, bless.
My God.
Well, if you ever need, I have hype people around me. Jess Cunningham, I don't know if you know Jess.
I followed her. Is she the Prodigal Fox?
Yeah.
I followed her on social
when I'm
media.
having a down day, she's my hype girl.
All right, well, get her to follow me back then. She'll follow me back.
Oh, does she not? Well, she's brilliant hype girl, and like I can be your hype girl too. If you're ever having one of those days where you're like, oh, Elissa, I just feel like shit, and this is not happening, or this is not happening, I am like, hang on a minute, and you know what I mean? Don't go down this route.
Yeah.
Got to get yourself out of it. And honestly, like, don't worry about what people think, because genuinely,
no one gives a shit anyway.
No one is even thinking about themselves. Everyone just thinks about themselves. And I'm telling you, it's only bottom feeders that think it anyway.
Yeah.
You don't see people who are cleaners. And if you don't know what a cleaner is, there's a brilliant book by, what's his name? Oh, it's called Relentless by Tim Grover. And he calls people cleaners. And there's me and my friend Yusra, she's like, girl, you're a cleaner. And I was like, that's such a compliment. A cleaner is somebody like a Michael Jordan or like somebody who's top of their game. They are cleaning up. They are relentless animals. You don't see cleaners do it like slagging off other people.
The bottom feeders,
fucking hell. They're not sitting on the cleaners aren't sitting on the Daily Mail website commenting, are they? Fucking hell, there's never been a cleaner on there ever. These people, you don't even want to be like those people. So get away from them. Get around people who are up there.
And keep you up there and put you up there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Decision makers. Get around decision makers. That's what you need to do.
Okay.
And you, honestly, I think you'd have such a different perspective on everything, definitely.
Thanks.
Thanks for my TED Talk.
What's a TED Talk? Love it.
Right, we're going to have to wrap up. But no, I've loved having you on, Steph.
No, I've loved it. I
brilliant.
loved it. Thank you for having me. Like, I've been wanting to come on your podcast for ages. So yeah, thank you.
No, thank you so much. Right, Breaking the Script. Where can we get it?
It's on Amazon now.
Look at you. Wow.
I know.
Is that a fresh picture?
Yeah.
Did you get that done recently?
Yeah. So it's kintsugi. Is that, when Chinese, not Chinese, Japanese.
Put it back together with gold.
Yeah, gold. Yeah, and both what makes it stronger. So that's kind of like the premise of the book.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, you get it on Amazon. But if you want it as a download, like a Kindle, my website, stephwarren.co.uk, only because Amazon takes all my money on Kindle.
Yeah, of course.
So
it does.
yeah, I put it as a download on my website. But any books that I don't sell from my book signing, I'm going to be putting as a first edition signed copies from my website, so you can purchase them from there after Sunday. So from Monday, I will put all that on.
Perfect. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yay.